Welcome to the blind battle of the cast strength bourbons. I'm your host Sam, and this is Whiskey and SV. Okay, so you might be thinking to yourself, Sam, why are you doing bourbons if this is a whiskey channel? Well, actually, you're probably not thinking that because you already know that bourbon is a type of whiskey. So, for those people who don't know, let me explain this. What makes a whiskey be called a bourbon? There's three criteria. First, it has to be made in America. So, America, yeah. Number two, it has to be made from at least 51% corn, and the rest of it can be other grains like wheat, rye, or barley. And actually, most whiskey is made from 70% or more corn. So, there's definitely corn is a huge amount of it. Um, and last but not least, the third point is that bourbon has to be aged for a minimum of 3 years in new charred American oak barrels. What that means is you cannot reuse oak barrels, and that charredness and the new oak flavors that go into it give it a very like vanilla caramel type of flavor profile. Generally, what that all translates to is that bourbon has a much narrower taste and aroma profile than Scotch whiskey, because basically what with Scotch whiskey they have a lot more latitude and a lot more discretion in what type of barrels they use for aging. And in fact, because the American bourbon industry creates so much barrels that they cannot reuse every year, they have a big surplus and they ship a bunch of that to Scotland, where it is used to age Scotch whiskey. So, yeah, keep that in mind. That the reason why I tell you that is because it's probably going to make this blind tasting relatively difficult. As you know, if you watched my first episode, I didn't do so great with the Scotch whiskies that I tasted. I only got 2 out of 6. But to be fair to me, they were all 12-year, around the same ABV, sherry matured whiskies, Scotch whiskies. So it's probably going to be difficult here again. Okay, so I'm gonna stop rambling about that. Let's introduce the whiskeys. These 6 whiskeys are all what you would call like semi-allocated, I guess. They're not like Pappy Van Winkle, where like each bottle, even the 10-year, I think sells for like $1,000. It's just like stupid numbers, and you can never find them anywhere. These are like somewhat difficult to find, but they're all reasonable price. And by that I mean, I think like the cheapest one is the Maker's Mark, around like $45 or $50 in my area, and the most expensive one maybe was probably like the Smoke Wagon was around like $80 or something like that. So they're all like under $80, and pretty. If you're looking for them, you can find them. They're not going to be super difficult to find. You're not going to find them every day in every store you go, but if you're looking and you keep an eye out, you'll definitely get them. So, okay, without further ado, let's introduce them. Number one is the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and this one is batch B522, bottled at 60.5 alcohol by volume, and that's 121 proof. Now, you might be wondering what 121 proof means. Basically, for some reason, the bourbon industry likes to quote things in proof, which is just double the ABV. I think it's simpler to just think of ABV, because that's a percentage. Percentages just make more sense to me. Why double it for no reason? Um, this particular bottle is a 12-year, and it says right there on the box, so on the bottle. So that's great. And just a little background about this. So the mash bill on this is 78% corn, 12% malted barley, and 10% rye. The thing that I really like about this is that it is the quintessential what I think a classic bourbon should and does taste like. And I think like if you are trying to get started, probably with bourbon, the non-cask strength version of this is a great representation of what what a bourbon should taste like, or at least what I think a classic bourbon tastes like. And the 12-year age statement, by the way, that's like pretty high for a bourbon, because usually a lot of bourbon, not all of it, obviously, is aged in warmer type climates. So there's a lot of flavor being put into this spirit from the fact that barrels are new and like very fertile, I guess. Not fertile, I don't know what the word is, but very active, I guess. And because it's usually warmer climates where they're being aged, um, even with 5 or 6 years you get really good flavors. Okay, so next we have the Four Roses single barrel strength, and this one is bottled at 56.8% ABV, and this one is 11 and a half years old, and it was bottled for Total Wine. You'll also see that the recipe on this is OESF. Now, I should probably explain what that is. OESF. So Four Roses has two different mash bills and five different yeast strains, and they mix and match those to get 10 different what they call recipes. OESF is their 10th recipe. The E is their Mashbill E, and that is 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% malted barley. And the F here is the yeast, is the F is the what the yeast F, basically. They have like five different A, B, C, D, E, F. Wait. So anyways, F is the yeast. I don't know why. Yeah. Anyways, so but long story short, I'll do probably a long episode about this later. But anyways, OESF is the 10th one, and it's supposed to be more, more minty and herbal. That's what kind of like they say that recipe is supposed to be like. Okay, let's go to the next one. Old Forester single barrel strength, and this one is the highest proof we have tonight, which is 65.35%, 65.35%. Old Forester mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. And yeah, this is going to be also like a very, I think close to what I consider to be a classical bourbon flavor. Okay, number 4 is, now we're going into the wheated ones. So this one is the Larceny barrel proof, and it is batch C922, bottled at 63.3% ABV. So Larceny, this is actually the same mash bill as the Old Fitzgerald. It is 68% corn, 20% wheat, and 12% malted barley. These are both like made by the Heaven Hill Distillery, and Old Fitzgerald is one of those like crazy allocated whiskeys that you'd never dream of, finding for a reasonable price. It's like basically 10 times the price of this. I think this costs like in the order of $65, and an old Fitzgerald 17 or 19 sells for like $700-800, if not more. Next up is another wheated bourbon, and I added this one here because I think I wanted 2 wheated bourbons here. This one is the Maker's Mark 46 limited edition, cask strength at 55.5% ABV. And the 46 here is basically Maker's Mark puts this like French oak stave, which is one of the pieces that makes up a barrel. They put that inside the barrel for the aging process to give it like more of a woody taste. The mash bill on this one is 70% corn, 16% wheat, and 14% malted barley. Okay, last but not least, we have the Smoke Wagon uncut, unfiltered, and yeah, this one is batch 147A, made on May 16, 2022, and actually the ABV is right here on the side of this thing. Handwritten, 57.63% ABV. Smoke Wagon is an interesting distillery. The owner of this distillery is Aaron Chipenji. He's like an independent bottler guy. He's a very interesting character, and he has his own account. He has like a very interesting Instagram account They don't. It's one of those sourced whiskeys. That means they don't make the distillate themselves. They actually purchase the spirit from MGP, which is a mass producer in Indiana, and a lot of like craft distilleries do that. They buy the spirit from MGP, and then they age it in their own warehouses. And this is a Las Vegas, Nevada whiskey company, so they age it in Las Vegas, Nevada. Cool. Okay, so I've been rambling too long. Let's get started. I'm going to get Laily to come in here and mess around the numbers, and yeah, then I'll come back in and I will nose them one by one and give you some tasting notes and rank them and try to match them to the bottles. So I'll be right back.
Hi everyone, my name is Laily. I'm Sam's sidekick for the channel. I'm helping him with shuffling the bottles and let him pick the correct one. And oh, by the way, he needs your subscription because his budget for whiskey has been cut off with me, and he can't buy more whiskey until he has at least 1,000 subscribers. So he needs your help. And it's easy, subscribe. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to shuffle like these two, switching these two, and then okay, let's do this one. Just make it a bit more tricky. One more. I want to do this one too. Okay. So now I shuffled, and all I have to know is what and switch the caps. We are ready. Let's see what he's going to do. See you soon.
Let's do this. Can't wait. Okay, number one. Let's go. This is first one. Ooh, it's gonna be hard to see. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, this is, the aromas are very sweet, vanilla, caramel. You're gonna hear that probably many times. You'll notice that I've actually put out this, pipette for being able to water them down a little bit because uh, I usually do drink cask strength bourbons and whiskeys without water, but I think sometimes putting some water in will help distinguish the taste a little bit better. So, very classical bourbon. I think I'm never able to tell by just nosing a whiskey, a bourbon, like what type of bourbon it is. I mean, very bourbon. I don't know what else to say. Hmm. So the arrival on that was very sweet up front, and then it got quite spicy, like baking spices, pretty quickly. Um, and then quite a lot of oak came out. It was kind of very, woody kind of flavors towards the end, and yeah, the spices lingered quite a bit. So it's probably, my guess is that this is not doesn't is not a wheated bourbon. It's one of the rye ones. I I think it may actually be the Elijah Craig. Um, uh, I don't know. I'll have to come back to it because I think I just need to. I know, like, what I remember from the Elijah Craig one is that it's typical bourbon, which this is what this basically tastes like, and the oak on it is relatively stronger than the rest of these because it is like slightly older. Well, actually, the Four Roses is actually kind of close as well, but I didn't get any in terms of age. But I didn't get any kind of herbal stuff, herbal kind of flavors in this. So I don't think this one is. I'm guessing it's probably the Elijah Craig. I'll just leave it next to the Elijah Craig for now. Okay, let's go to number two. Okay. Oh wow. That was a lot more fruity on the nose. I mean, you always get the vanilla and the caramel, but then like, what else is there, right? There's kind of fruitiness, not a lot of spices or anything, and not a lot of oak. Surprisingly, very fruity. Interesting. That does taste a bit more herbal on the palate. Not a lot of oak, to be honest. Very interesting. Some sort of like dark chocolate type flavors. It is very aromatic, like not just fruits, but almost like perfumey type perfumey type flavors. Hmm. Actually, some oak on the finish as well. Hmm. I'll have to come back to this one. I have no idea. I think maybe it is the. It could actually just be the Four Roses. It's definitely not the smoke wagon. I think I can tell MGP from others. Um, I haven't had enough of this Four Roses to really know. Um, I'll have to come back to it. I'll have to come back to it. But it could be. It could also be one of the weeded ones as well. I don't know. Hmm. Okay, number three. Just so that we know. Okay. Now this one, kind of, in addition to the caramel and the vanilla, which are all they all have, is kind of like chocolate on the nose and cherry, kind of like a cherry note. Hmm. Okay. That is very herbal. This has to be the Four Roses. That is extremely herbal on the palate. Um, yeah, it's like fresh cut grass or something like that. Not on the nose at all, interestingly. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that has to be that has to be the Four Roses. I'm gonna put this by the Four Roses. Number three as the Four Roses. Number two, I don't know. We'll come back to this. Okay, let's do number four. This is very similar in aroma to number two. So I'm beginning to think that these are probably the two weeded bourbons, and this actually doesn't taste. Yeah, it's kind of fruity, and yeah, not a lot of like spices on the nose. Hmm. Quite oaky as well. Um, very nice. Yeah, I have to say I think number three, number two, and number four are probably the weeded bourbons. They're very similar. I'll have to go back to them. I think I also need to like water them down and maybe drink some water in between. Um, okay, let me see if I can have some of this water. Um, Probably not the best practice, but let's see. Hmm. Okay, let's try number five. Okay. Oh my god, that is very herbal on the nose. What the? Oh my god. Fresh cut grass. You know, vanilla and caramel just goes without saying. But a very strong fresh cut grass kind of like herbal note. The alcohol burn was a lot less on this. So I don't know. These I don't remember getting herbal flavors in any of the wheated bourbons. Although it is quite sweet and not a lot of burn on it at all. So I'm guessing that it's probably lower proof, kind of oaky flavors coming out as well. Hmm, that's confusing. Based on proofiness, I think there is some chance that it is the maker's mark, but I don't remember getting any herbal flavors on the maker's mark when I had it earlier in the week. Interesting. Okay. Um, let's go to this. Number 6. I thought I would be able to tell MGP, and this is the 6th, so I expected this to be MGP, and I am not sure actually. Sorry about that. I had an issue with my computer, and it went on to screensaver mode, and I couldn't see. Okay, so back at number 6. Wow, I thought I would be able to tell MGP apart from all the rest of the whiskies, but I am now not sure at all. MGP is supposed to be high rise, so definitely not Elijah Craig. This one. Hmm. I can recognize the palette for sure. This is the MGP. This is definitely, um, yeah. Number 6 is definitely the smoke wagon. Well, so this is strange. I think looks like I'm fairly confident number 1 is the Elijah Craig, but no, actually I'm not sure because I have to see between. Okay, I'm 100% sure that this is um, number 6 is the smoke wagon. Um, I gotta go back to number 1 again. Yeah, very much like that vanilla, caramel, and oak. Like this is what I expect a classic bourbon to be like, and I think this Elijah Craig 12 and the Old Forester single barrel, these are definitely going to be what I expect like a classical bourbon to be, and hmm, that is very oaky. So fairly confident that that's Elijah Craig number 1, Elijah Craig. This is very aromatic. Number 2. This is number 2. That's also very oaky. I think I need some water. Okay, I'm just gonna forget about watering these down, and I'm going to just use this as my palate cleanser. Okay, let's go again. I think I need to decide between 1 and 3 as to see which one is the Elijah Craig. That is very oaky, for sure. Okay, let's do number 2 again. I only poured half ounces into this, so I have to be careful not to finish them before I can determine which is which. That's also very oaky. Slightly more spicy. I would have expected this at 65% to be a lot more proofy, so I'm not really sure. Um, hmm. I'm fairly confident that they're not the wheated ones. So yeah, let's try this again, where I thought the Four Roses number 3. That is very strong. That is extremely strong. So I feel like this is the proof on this is too high to be the Four Roses, and I'm not sure if it's weeded. I thought I could tell weeded from non-weeded, but now I'm not sure. It's definitely more fruity, so I don't think. I think I associate the fruitiness and the sweetness with more wheat, I guess, or maybe just the weirdness of the Four Roses. I don't know. Wow, this is difficult. Let's see. Hmm, that is very fruity as well. Yeah. No, I think these two are very similar, so they have to be here. I could have been messing Four Roses with Old Forester. I don't know. They all have very similar mash bills, I think. Um, which one did I say was more herbal? I think I said this. Yeah, it's just strange because I, I haven't had enough of this, but I am expecting if herbal is what they're saying, then three should be. Okay. So far, I'm just saying. I think there's one that I'm 100% sure. if if I get this wrong, it's gonna be super embarrassing. Um, I think the smoke wagon is definitely number 6. Um, okay, let's try to at least figure out the bourbon, the weeded ones. So this is number 4. This is also quite oaky, so I'm thinking this might be the Maker's Mark, but there's also a lot of burn, so hmm, very difficult. Let's try number 5 again. I get distinctly rye in this stuff. Wow, I am getting confused. Number 5. Very fresh cut grass kind of. Yeah, this is too herbal to not be the Four Roses. I think this is the Four Roses. So let's say number 5, Four Roses. Going back to number 3 and trying to see if I can reassign to something else. I need a break. These are all cast strength too, so it's quite a lot of intake in quite a short amount of time. Quite oaky now in the finish as well. I think 3 and 4 are the Larceny, are the weeded ones basically, like the Larceny and the Maker's Mark. It doesn't. The reason why I'm hesitating between 3 and 4 is I think 4 is not as hot, and so I expect it to be. I expect, well, given that this is like 63.3%, I would have thought it should drink a bit hotter than this, which is only 55% ish. So I don't know, between 3 and 4, I'm kind of struggling. Now we're getting to the point of, this is just a kind of a shit show. Let's see. I gotta make a decision soon. Yeah, that's extremely oaky. I think that probably comes by putting a stave into something. So this is the ordering I have. I think 1, Elijah Craig. 5, Four Roses. Wait, actually, hold on. Oh, I gotta think about this because did I pick? I wonder if I'm getting confused with the Four Roses and the Forester. This is also, why does everything taste, smell, and taste the same now? No, this is just so much rye and so much grassiness. If this is not Four Roses, I'm gonna be very, very, very like shocked. So 5, Four Roses, 2, Old Forester, 4, Larceny Barrel Proof, 3 Maker's Mark, and the one that I'm 100% sure, like, okay, I think 6. That nose is not MGP though. The palate's MGP. The way I tell MGP is like, for some reason, for me it reminds me of a bourbon that you're having in a hot, humid climate with some like fruitiness to it. That's what MGP. It's just like very distinct. So I think I there's no way I have this one wrong. Number 6 has to be the smoke wagon. That, you know, vanilla caramel, whatever, like, generic bourbon thing, plus, this hot and humid climate kind of, yeah, fruity. So yeah, those are the picks. Let's see how I did. I'm gonna ask Laily to come and go over these with me. So see you soon. All right, so I'm excited. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
All right,
Go
so
ahead.
I'm gonna start by the one that I'm 100% sure I got right.
Okay.
So
Which one is that?
That is number 6. Is the smoke wagon?
Correct.
Yes, I knew it. I mean, the nose, I'm not sure, but the taste, I was 100% sure it was the smoke wagon. Okay. The next one I was pretty confident with was number 1. I think is Elijah Craig.
Wrong.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's the Four Roses.
Is it? What?
Yeah.
It can't be the Four Roses.
It is the Four Roses.
You're f***ing with me. There's no way this is the Four Roses.
No, baby. It is the Four Roses.
This has no grassy notes. Like, how can it be the Four Roses? You must be f***ing with me.
I have no idea.
Seriously. Okay. So what is the Four Roses? Because I've said 5 is Four Roses.
1 is Four Roses.
Okay. So, but I'm saying 5 is Four Roses. So what is 5?
5 is Elijah.
So I confused these two. Oh my god. This is so like fresh grass, like herbal. Like, that's supposed to be the Four Roses. How can it not be the Four Roses? Are you sure it is right?
Yep.
Oh.
You don't trust your taste buds, I guess.
Come on.
You're trying to blame me. No.
Are you sure?
Yep. Come on. Next one.
All right. Let's see.
Which 1?
Okay, let's see. Okay.
What is number 4?
Number 4, I think, was the Larceny.
Mm-mm.
Come on.
It's the old.
What?
Yeah.
The old what? The Old Forester?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Wrong again.
That's terrible.
You should make a noise here, like bing bing, like something like that.
All right, fine. So okay, I said number 2 is the Old Forester.
No.
I mean, obviously not.
No.
So what is it? Which one is this?
It's the Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark?
Maker's
it's not even
Mark.
What the? Are you serious? You're
no, I'm
Lily,
joking.
Come on.
No, obviously.
Are you sure you got this?
I
right?
am
You're
sure.
not
I'm
with me.
100% sure. I'm not fucking up with you. It means you don't have to buy any more whiskeys because obviously you're not.
Okay, so that means what is number 3 then? Number 3 has to be the Larceny.
Yeah, Larceny.
Come on. You're with
Sorry.
me. You're with me.
You need to get more sample bottles, I guess. Every weekend, order more and more.
Well, to be fair, I didn't promise any samples to anyone, but
oh, seriously?
In fairness, I should give people samples.
Definitely. Ask for it.
Ask. Okay.
Ask for it.
I can't believe this. Are you serious?
Ask for it.
All right. Well, fine. I got the one that I was confident with, right? At least.
At least you were confident with 1 out of 6. Yep.
Oh my god, that's horrible. Okay.
That is horrible.
I have to say I suck at bourbon tasting. So I think from now on we'll stick to Scotch, where I think I have a slight edge.
Don't forget to ask for samples.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in, and hope to see you next week in our next episode, which is definitely
see you
not going
guys
to be a
next weekend. Bye.
Bye.